There's a TikTok trend I want to talk about. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so this lady is the number one person. Okay, so let me give some context before I
Sure.
press play.
All
So
right.
I read an article, and I sent it to you as well, but for the viewers, the watchers, I read an article from the New York Post, and the New York Post was talking about hashtag watertok. And there's a movement, a whole bunch of hashtags, and these people are posting about quote unquote healthy water. People who have struggled with drinking water their whole life, including Tanya here, who we're about to watch a video from, have struggled with drinking water. Even Tanya here had surgery, um, according to the article from New York Post. If you just look up New York Post water talk, it pops right up. And so the New York Post wrote this article. It's about people who are trying to drink more water and quote unquote healthier water. And so they're drinking all of these different sweet concoctions that are low calorie and tasty. And I said, oh man, this is right up our alley. I got to bring this to the pod. And so we're about to watch Tanya's recipe for salted caramel apple water. This is just one of many things that are on her TikTok. And I'm not picking on her. The article mostly featured her. It says that she is the number one person when you look up the hashtag watertok. And so here we go.
Good morning. All right, I don't even know where we are. The 7-Eleven somewhere. I got a bottle of water. You guys know we're still doing the water of the day. I might be going to Vegas and getting on a plane, but we're doing the water of the day. You guessed it. Salted caramel apple is the water of the day. So this is the salted caramel skinny mixes flavor burst to go. We're gonna pop that in there just like that. I'm gonna taste a drop because these are super concentrated. And then we're gonna do the green apple Jolly Rancher packet. Probably my favorite packet besides the pink Starburst. And we're just going to shake it up. Hope you guys are having a good day. The next time you see me,
All right.
I will be in Vegas.
Thank you, Tanya.
Look
Yeah.
how pretty.
Shake it.
You guys know I
Shake
love
it like a milkshake
water.
and do that back you
This is
can.
it. Super casual, super comfy. Oh my gosh. Loving every minute of it.
All right,
Good morning.
so
All right, I don't even know where we are.
Tanya. Now, if we go over here and hit water talk,
Yeah.
it says here, look at this. Water talk, hashtag water talk has 136.7 million views.
Great.
That's how many people have watched content related to water talk. Holy shit, look at this. When water talk is... Let's watch one more. Why not? This is something different.
The dominoes cascaded in a line. What if I told you I'm a mastermind?
This person has got tons and tons of mixes.
The dominoes cascade.
Stupid.
Tons and tons of mixes. All right, and we're back.
Yeah.
And so, Dre, I gotta talk to you about water talk now, baby, because water talk.
I mean, we've been here before.
I know we just spoke about this, but
yeah,
I said, oh man, I gotta bring this to Dre because yes, we did speak about this, and during our last episode, Great Debaters, I said, yeah, people like me and you, we may not be ODing on this, but there's plenty of people who are. And unbeknownst to me at the time, water talk was taking over the world.
Right.
And here are people pouring multiple packets in one water.
Right.
Jolly Rancher packets, Playboy. Jolly Rancher. And so Tanya, the number one water talk person, and I got no beef with Tanya because I know how the internet does. I'm just reacting to her video because we just spoke about this. And again, the New York Post article, if you look it up, New York Post water talk, that's who it features. And that's how I found out about Tanya. Never knew about her prior. This is not a prior beef. In fact, I don't even have a beef. I think it's great because in the article it says Tanya is someone who always struggled with drinking water. She had gastric sleeve surgery because she was over 400 pounds. She's been losing the weight, but the doctors say she needs to be drinking at least 64 ounces of water. And now with flavored waters, she is up to 90 ounces a day. And so kudos to her for drinking more water. However, son, what the fuck is that multiple packs. She even said, she squeezed it and said just one drop because this thing is so concentrated.
Yep.
It's so concentrated that you added a whole pack of Jolly Ranchers to it? Come on, Dre. People are ODing.
Yeah. I think the best thing about that whole thing that you discovered is now at least we know what hashtag to use when no, honestly. That's the most important thing to me. That's the only thing I really learned. The only thing I learned is that, son, now we have a hashtag that we should have been using. Because we was talking about this.
Hashtag water
Forget
top.
about last time. We was talking about this way back when I was like, "Yo, my fucking food for the day," and I pulled out that big gallon of water, and it had a little bit of orange stuff in there. We was talking about it.
Just co-sign that by drinking some big ass water.
Come on, let's do it. You know what I mean? And we also had this topic for those of you who want to go back. We spoke about how important it is to drink water. And a very, very early version of food, fitness, and fun. So I advise you to take a look at that. But in that video that we came up with, you know, once again, I wish I would knew how to hashtag. I would have hashtagged it a year ago, wherever it was.
We might have started it if we knew.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we had already said how important water is. And, you know, if you need a little bit of sweetness to go with it, throw a little sweet. We did this whole thing on there. Throw a little bit of that little sweet, just a little bit of the little sweet, and you're good. You know what I'm saying? But here's the biggest problem.
Talk to him.
The biggest problem is if you can't drink something as natural to your body as water, you have a bigger problem. You have a bigger sugar addiction that you're not really addressing. And rather than putting more and more of these different flavors in there to feed your sugar addiction, you should be doing what we said in our last episode, 57, try to do a little bit less of those so you can get off of the sugar addiction. Drinking water just the way it is, the way your God intended, whatever you believe, is the way human beings are supposed to drink water. And everything else is just an additional kick. But if you say to yourself, and I know millions of people have said this, and we said this in our podcast before, there are lots and lots of people out there who's like, ew, I don't like water. Well, why is that? Why don't you like water? You're
used to drinking tons and tons of sugary shit.
Right. You've destroyed your taste buds with refined sugars. If you don't like water, you probably don't like apples or oranges, just regular normal fruit, because you have a hyper sugary palate, and that's what needs to be satisfied. And here's the artificial sweeteners or whatever to help keep that palate high. If you don't like water, look at yourself and say, I have a problem. Water is the most natural thing. You know, I think you broke it down in a video where you're talking about water is like 70% of our body or something like that. Yeah. It's what you are. It's no different than saying, ew, air. I don't like air. You know, I need to have some sort of, you know, additive to my air to make it taste good. You know what I mean?
I always put Skittles on my air.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, yo, you have a big problem, and you need to help yourself out of that. You need to understand, I'm addicted to sugar so much that I have to add these things to something as basic as water, and try to, for God's sake, put less and less of that stuff into your water so that you can kick the addiction. It's no different than any other addiction, right? You don't say, oh, I'm addicted to alcohol, and so, you know, I just have different types of alcohol every day. No, you'd be like, hey, yo, bro, you got a problem. You need to try to drink less alcohol every day, you know, not add alcohol to your water, you know, like, what the fuck, you know, like, no.
I always put a little bit of Jack Daniels in mine,
right? Just, you know, hey, now it's tastier. No.
Now it tastes better. I like to put a little bit of Jameson in my water. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's crazy, and that to
Like
me
to
is
feel
just
like I'm
sad.
drinking an old fashioned every time I have
Right.
some
Every
water.
time I want to, little tequila kick. I like a little tequila kick in
Oh,
my
gotta
water.
put the fly part about when you put the tequila in your water is no one even knows because it's clear, just like the water.
Right, right. Or a vodka water. A vodka flavored water, please.
Come
Like
on, son.
what?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on. So stop. It's just like I think it's sad, and I think she represents millions of Americans who are super addicted to refined sugars and don't see that as an addiction. You know,
Right. And oh, good. I don't want to cut
No,
you.
no, you can take after this. So all I'm saying is you are highly addicted to refined sugars. You don't see it as addiction, and you're not doing the work because you don't realize it's an addiction to get off of that. Um, that drug. Refined sugar is another drug. Sorry, yeah.
And so the New York Post said that a lot of these hashtag watertok posts are using the packets and showing, hey, look, this packet has no sugar. It's got a sugar alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're saying it's healthy water. But we already told y'all about the damage that's being done with these other with these alternative sweeteners. And so now, not only are you consuming them, and this is what I was trying to debate last pod when I was debating, is that, again, yeah, Dre, you might just put a little bit of alternative sweetener in your gallon, and that's it for the day.
Yep.
But here we have people posting up videos of what they're doing every time they drink water. And she said she drinks 90 I was to say 90 gallons. That's crazy.
Ounces.
She'd have to be a whale to drink 90 gallons. That's a joke. She
She's
drinks
a pool.
90 ounces. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She drinks 90 ounces of water. That bottle we sold was not 90 ounces.
Right.
So that means she's gonna do that at least 2 more times.
Yeah, a few times throughout the day. Yeah.
Come on, player.
Yeah.
How many alternative sweeteners are we consuming in a day? And so, yeah, you're saying refined sugar, and you're right. But it's not just about the sugar, because we're seeing that a lot of these videos, that's what the New York Post said. And so I didn't watch a bunch of TikTok videos, but if y'all go look, that's what the New York Post is reporting, and that's what we're talking about here. And the New York Post is saying that a lot of these videos are saying that they're having low calorie, no sugar sweeteners.
And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I mean, this is why when we had our last pod, it was a debate because you're like, hey, Dre, you like these? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do like them. And I already described, if you watch that, why I like them. But let's get one thing straight. And I said it in the last pod.
You sure did.
Alternative sweeteners are not healthy. It's not a healthy thing that you're doing. And you say, okay, well, we're having healthy water. Healthy water is clean water. That's healthy water.
That's it.
Clean drinking water is healthy water. Everything else, once you start altering it, you're not making it more healthy. It's already healthy. Now, if you need to alter it because you don't like the taste of water, then let's recognize why we're altering it. I'm altering it because I want a sweet kick to it. Now I'm making it not as healthy. It's still good. Still better than drinking a Coke or something with, refined sugar or high fructose corn syrup or whatever. Yeah, it's still good, but it's not necessarily healthier than water because you added all these things into it. No. You're making it to a point so you can drink more water because you have a problem with drinking water. And so here's this thing. And like I said, I drink them all the time. I already described how I do it. But it's not healthier. It's just to get you because we are all addicted to sugar, myself included. So now we have to have a little bit of a sweet kick in there to help us drink more water. But it's still an addiction. So try to use as little as possible. I mean, I already said it's the same way I see about drinking, right?
No, yeah, of course.
It's like if I go out drinking, it's not to destroy my liver and destroy myself, right? It's like, what's the little amount that I can have to get the effect that I want? It's like, I just want to be a little breezy. I just want to get like hey, a little tipsy, nothing crazy. Well, that might just be a couple of light beers and maybe a small vodka shot, and that's it. I don't need to have 18 shots, right? You're doing too much. So you always want the least amount to get the most effect, no matter what you're talking about. And this is just another example.
And that's why I said, oh man, I got to bring this to the pod, because that was my whole argument, that this is what people are doing, because I know it.
Yeah.
I know people are pouring tons and tons of this shit in their water, and calling it healthy water is an oxymoron. It's not healthy water. You know what's healthy water? Water. That's what's healthy water. It's crazy. I know. Maybe you've never heard of this thing, but there's this thing called water. That's the healthiest version of water. You know, it's just, it's crazy. I know. When you add water to water, you get like a water kick. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have some water. Jim Gaffigan, you know,
that's my
tastes
dude.
more watery than water.
Right. Water kicks.
Water has a water kick to it.
It reminds me
and so that's the problem. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to say, it reminds me of like, this used to happen too. It used to be this dude with these videos, and he would put down fruit, right? And he'd be like, yeah, you know, fruit has too much sugar in it, so don't eat too much fruit, because fruit has just as much sugar as a Reese's peanut butter cup. And you're like, all right, okay, all right. And this, honestly, this is when we talk about our podcast and why it was created. It's because there's so much BS and garbage information out there. You need somebody to say, hey, hold on, what the hell are you talking about? And so this dude, and this is before our show, because I definitely would have showed the video. But he would be like, okay, you know, it has the same amount of sugar. And it'd be like, and you would say, and I would say to myself, like, wait a minute, but here's the difference. A Reese's peanut butter cup, if you turn it around and you look at the ingredients, it's about 30 ingredients of all this crap that's in it. Okay. Right. An apple has apple in it.
You know right. I mean? What's in your apple?
Right.
Apple.
And so,
just apple.
Right. So one has all this like crap and refined sugars and everything else in there, dyes and everything else, where apple has dietary fiber. And yes, it's sweet a little, but because it's mixed with all this dietary fiber, you're not eating a bag of apples. I'm sorry. You have two, you probably be like, okay, I'm good. We've had this conversation before. People go back to our other pods. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, absolutely, you're not drinking gallons and gallons of just regular water. You know what I'm saying? Now I can see you ODing on that sugary water because you're drinking sugar water.
Of course. Right.
Sugar water. Yeah, it's the sugar part that you want. So
stop hating on healthy water, Dre.
You know what I mean? Cats are wild.
Son, so this is our fun topic, because this shit is funny to me. Like, no doubt. Water talk, we about to be all over water talk.
I'm about to hashtag the shit out of that water talk. That's the only thing that's the only thing I learned. That's the only thing I learned. Dre, this is the hashtag you need to use. Thank you, because I will be adding to this phenomenon in a way that
baby.
pretty much unexpected.
TikTok, we coming. You know what I'm saying?
Coming.
TikTok, we'll be right with you, TikTok.
In a minute, we won't claim no sets.
That's it. Only way to catch me is on the
You gotta hit us on this internet. That's it.
Shout out to Nori. On that note, we are out of here.